What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I am back again with another video, and as y'all can tell from the title of today's video, I'm going to be doing a review of LDOE. So as you guys know, I've been playing this game for a long time, nearly 7 years at this point, and honestly, I don't think I've ever done a full review where I break down and give the game a rating. So if you're a new player, or someone who's thinking about playing the game and wanting to know if this is a good game and worth your time, then this is the video for you. Or if you just want to know my opinions on the game overall, then you could also stick around. But anyway, with all of that said, let's get into the video. Starting off the list, we have graphics. Now, the thing about this is it's a PC game, but it's also mainly a mobile game, so there's definitely restrictions to what the graphics can look like, how good they can be. But in all honesty, the graphics really aren't too terrible. I wouldn't stop myself from playing the game solely because of the graphics. And then stuff like items in the game, if the graphics are poor, then their odds are they'll be changed. There's been times throughout the game where stuff has been changed. For example, the band-aids and the beams used to have really ugly graphics, but now they look a lot better. And then also in settings, you can choose your frames per second to see how fast the game runs in terms of frames per second. So it's really nice for you to be able to customize the type of stuff to your device and your gameplay. But overall, I give the graphics probably a 7 out of 10, simply because, you know, I've seen much better graphics, but for a mobile game, this is really, really good. Up next, we have gameplay. Personally, I think the gameplay in this game is really good. I think there's a bunch of different bosses and events and stuff for you to do. I don't think there's going to be a point in this game where you're bored and you have nothing you can do. You've done everything, unless you're pay to win, but we'll get into that later. Another thing about the gameplay is there's a lot of variety of things you can do. There's different types of weapons and different types of armor that you can choose based off of your play style and what you want to do. It's also really nice because it makes it feel like there's a bit more freedom. Now, I will say one downside is if you're looking for a multiplayer game, yes, this game does have a solid multiplayer mode, but right now it is not active at all, and that is largely because all of the devs that were working in the multiplayer section have moved over to another game, Frostborn, which really, in my opinion, isn't that good. Yes, I've tried it out. No, I haven't liked it. I think that the devs should definitely move over, because I feel like this could be a really good and fun multiplayer game if they tried to make it be a fun multiplayer game. But as of now, this game is primarily single-player focused, and if that's okay with you, then great. Overall, I give the gameplay probably a 9 out of 10. Coming up next, we have the grind factor. Now, this is a heavy factor in this game, with the way to improving your base is literally just grinding, doing resource zones over and over and over again to build up your walls. I know early game, the game is going to feel super grindy with every location because you can't really advance until you've done each location at least a few times. And if you're looking for a game where you're grinding a lot in the early stages of the game but not grinding towards the end, then this really isn't it. Because you can be grinding pine at the beginning of the game, and then oak in the middle of the game, and then ash at the end of the game, and you'll just be grinding over and over. Now, the thing about this is grinding in this game sounds like it's a chore, but in my opinion it isn't. You can still find ways to do stuff like this. Like, for example, if you're going ash farming, you can get the resources and then hit auto and then watch a YouTube video, say, while you're doing this. So it really isn't that big of a factor in the game, if you ask me. If you enjoy grinding, then great, but if you don't, then this is probably not going to be your best friend. Overall, in terms of grinding, I give it a 6 out of 10 just because it's such a big part of the game. Next up, we have the game you're getting for the price. So the LDOE is, as you know or don't know, a free game. Now, that's not to say there isn't in-game purchases, because there is 100% in-game purchases. There's so many different things you can buy to help you advance in the game quicker. But none of the stuff that's bought is essential. You can do pretty much anything free to play as you could pay to play. It's just if you pay, it'll make things a little bit easier. Or if you like the challenge, you can not pay. To be completely honest, I really haven't spent any money on this game, and I'm actually pretty far in the game. Granted, I've been playing for a long time. Paying isn't something that's needed to do to play this game at all by any means. In terms of game for price, I give this a 8 out of 10. And now, overall enjoyment, as I've mentioned, I've been playing this game for nearly 7 years, which is a very long time. I've seen a bunch of stuff change. So clearly that means something, that at least personally I've enjoyed the game. One thing is, I don't recommend this if you like more fast-paced games, if you like games that move fast, or if you like storyline games. They have some storylines in here, but these are just side storylines and not something that's actually something that has to be paid attention to, and you'll miss part of the games out. This is an open world game. And also, if you like games like, for example, Retro Bowl for me, that you can just sit and play aimlessly, then this is not that game. This is a game you kind of have to sit down and think about and kind of focus when you're playing, not just something you can half-brain play. In terms of overall enjoyment, I'll give this a 9 out of 10. There's a lot of different and unique fun stuff to do, especially for newer players. There's also a nice community built around this game. There's an official LDOE Discord that has a couple 100,000 people in it. Speaking of Discord, a link for my Discord server will be in the description. Overall ranking for this game, I'd have to give it an 8 out of 10. There's obviously some things that need to be fixed. For example, there needs to be more permanent content, less temporary stuff, less temporary events. If you were to add more locations like the laboratory, and more locations like the motel, and just more stuff to consistently do instead of something to do for 2 weeks and then wait for another 4, then that would be great. But if you're looking to try this game out for yourself, then I would definitely recommend it. At least try it out, and I hope you enjoy the game. And that's all for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe. If you have any questions about the game, leave them in the comments. I will do my best to answer every single question. But anyway, with all of that said, I hope you guys all have an amazing rest of y'all's day. I'm out. Peace.